Отдай! Стой!
Праздник псу под хвост. Где мы в деревне 31 декабря продукты возьмем?
Возьмем и закажем в Сбермаркете.
Цены, как у нас, с продуктом.
Прям чудо новогоднее.
Сбермаркет. Новый год без хлопот.
Yes?
You want me to play it?
Hold on. It is the 3rd of March 2019, and we're moving on to a third movement. Go ahead.
Okay.
Of the Moonlight Sonata. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know it.
Yes?
You want me to play it?
Hold on. It is the 3rd of March 2019, and we're moving on to a third movement. Go ahead.
Okay.
Of the Moonlight Sonata. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know it.
That's fine. Wow. When was the last time you played that?
Probably 110 years ago. I don't really know it
I know, but
anymore. I don't really know it
I know,
anymore. I didn't know it.
I'm sure you did, but that's pretty amazing for not knowing it.
Ну вот, другое дело. Теперь и блендер для мамы влезет.
Цены ниже, подарков больше. Исполняйте мечты и радуйте близких. Скидки до 50%.
What's the world's greatest piano? People always asking me all the time, what do I think the best piano is? Well, I think it comes down to one of three: Steinway, Yamaha, or Bosendorfer. I found a store here in Tokyo, Japan called Yamanogaki. They got all three pianos in the same location. I'm gonna test them out, and I'm gonna let you decide. You tell me what's the best piano. All right, let's go. I chose two songs today to test out the pianos with. One is a classical and one is a jazz piece. We're gonna start off with the classical piece, a Chopin number. Please vote for your favorite by clicking right here.
hören wir jetzt das wunderbare Konzert in A-Moll von Edvard Grieg mit Alexander Malofejew und dem Dirigenten Alexander Sladkowski.
If I don't want to make a video like this of myself, I can just make a really cute one of a caricature.
What's the world's greatest piano? People always asking me all the time, what do I think the best piano is? Well, I think it comes down to you decide. You tell me what's the best piano. All right, let's go. Please vote for your favorite by clicking right here. Please vote for your favorite jazz sound by clicking right here. That was so much fun for me. I hope it was fun for you to listen to. Each of those pianos to me had a very unique, special characteristic about them. I don't want to tell you which one was my favorite. I really want to hear your opinion, so please vote and let me know. Can't wait to hear what you think. Thanks.
Зачем столько карт, когда есть одна? Тинькофф платит.
right, so we're going to start this by disassembling the action. We'll remove the stack from the keyframes so that we can prepare the keys in these key clamps so that we can recondition the key bushings, those little pieces of felt that keep the key quiet on its rail rather than hearing wood on metal. So we'll recondition them by applying a material called Pro Felt, which sizes it and lubricates it. So we're going to measure the key pins on the balance and front rail to have the correct dimensions so that we can use the proper calls for the key bushings, the front and balance rail. Then we'll apply this Pro Felt material to the felt, and it soaks in and puffs up the felt. Then we can place the call, which sizes it to the same size as the pin, and we will leave these calls in place overnight so that the material will cure out, it'll dry up, but it leaves behind a lubricant. So then the felt has less friction on the key pin, and it fits it nice and tight. And we'll do the same process to the balance rail that we did to the front rail. If the bushings are old and worn enough, then we have to replace all of the key bushings, but this set is good enough to just recondition. Thus, reconditioning. Most people know that you should have your piano tuned regularly, but reconditioning and piano action is also a very important part of piano maintenance, and it's often overlooked. It's basically a machine made of wood with felt and leather, and all those parts change over time, and so they require maintenance. Okay, now that these are done, we'll let the keys sit overnight so that that can cure out. And in the meantime, we will prepare the key frame, which has all the key pins on it. They'll need to be polished. We use a brass polish material that works very well. And then after they're polished and cleaned, we will lubricate them with a dry film lubricant. Okay, so now we're going to polish the key pins. We use a material that works real well for cleaning brass and metals. It's called Flitz, and it does a great job of really removing all the gunk, all the buildup that are on these pins. And so we want to polish them well, and then we clean the polish off before we apply a dry film lubricant to them. And you can see the difference. This is after, and this is before.
groovy chicks and hip cats. Welcome back to the Jazz Ranch. And we've been away for a while. You know, the horses talked to us here. They told us to take a vacation. Why don't you take a vacation? So we went down to the Caribbean, and we had a good time. Now we're back, and miss you guys, so I have a new video for you. This is an analysis of Someday My Prince Will Come. It's a little bit advanced, so if you're a beginner, you might want to skip this one. But I have a couple of quotes for you that are very interesting. One is from Bix Beiderbecke, and he said, one of the things I like about jazz, kid, he was talking to some kid, he says, I don't know what's going to happen next. And I think that's very pertinent. I think that's true. And also a quote by Mose Allison, he said, the essentials of jazz are melodic improvisation, melodic invention, swing, and instrumental personality. So I think those are very true, and I'm going to take those up in this particular video. You know, the alto-dominant man, he went off to Newark again. I think he has a girlfriend down there. It might be the alto-dominant ego girl, but at any rate, he's not here, so we are going to now move right into Someday My Prince Will Come with the analysis. Here we go.
You do not have to be perfect to do what I do. You just have to have a calling, a desire.
starting out, I want to talk about the two quotes and how I applied them to how I approach this song. First of all, the Bix one, where he said, one of the things I like about jazz is I don't know what's going to happen next. In other words, I didn't predict what I was going to play. I didn't write it out or plan anything. It was strictly ad lib. And the other thing about Mose Allison was saying melodic invention. Now that just means that I'm taking the melody as written and I'm changing it. And what I'm doing is I'm putting my own ideas and personality into it. And that's what you want to strive for, is the melody is like this. So it's like rather simple, so you can do a lot with it. You could go, well, I played this, I played. Now, I also use the left hand, and the left hand complements the right hand, so they're sort of a unit, you know. And I'm going to break that down for you in the next segment, but I want you to understand now, continuing, I did this. I'm just looking at melody now. Then I did a fill here. And I did this. That's a descending in thirds. Part of it is a diminished scale, and then minor scale, and then another diminished scale. So that is how I was interpreting it up to that point. First 16 bars, in other words, the melodic invention aspect there, you can hear that, and that's just something that comes from you in your own experience as a musician and in living life and so on. So we'll continue now, I'll try to break it down with some details. So now this is the beginning of this song. I'm playing free. In other words, I'm not playing in a tempo, I'm not playing any specific technique. It's sort of minimalist. In other words, it's very simple. It's not stride or any of that, you know, it's just, so I just doing the minimal amount of things necessary to get the effect. So then I go, I putting the root here. Now a lot of times I'll put something other than the root, but I put the root there. Now the A chord augmented, A7 augmented is the next chord. We start with an F, 6, 9. Just voicing it like that, see, that's all it takes. It has the 9 in it. There's the 5 here. And then the A. Now I don't always play the bass note on the first beat. I might play it after the melody. So sometimes it's before the melody, or sometimes it's after. It could be like, or it could be, you know, before or after. So that's important. Then I did this voicing up here. Now that's really the A7, but it's kind of like a segment of a chord. It's just the 7th, the 3rd, and you could think of it as the sharp 9, I guess, really. There's your 3rd of your chord. Then I put the bass note down here, the B flat now, B flat major. If you're following the score, you'll understand this better. Now an arpeggio. Up to the chord. Now that's a good technique to be able to arpeggiate and then get the chord in there. See that? I use that a lot. You'll see that. So I'm just going 1, 5, you know, 3, 7, then up to the chord, and then I put the fill, melodic fill here with a D7 flat 9 there. So there you have your segmented chord there. There's another arpeggiated move in the left hand. Down to the bass note, the D. Now up to now I voice that as a D7 sharp 9. You know, you have the major 3rd, the flat 7, the sharp 9 there. And then I go to the flat 9 like that. It's really pretty sounding, I think. There's another segmented chord, a G minor. The root isn't in there, it's a rootless chord, but then this line comes in. Goes to the C13 there, and then I'd make a flat 9 there. So I have a 9 to a flat 9. All these things that are happening in the left hand are complementing the right hand, either harmonically or even melodically, like sort of like a counter melody. Now here I'm going to like do a tenth, but I'm going to roll it like this. See, now I'm rolling it from bottom up. Now when you have a problem with tenths, that's what you want to do, is you want to just roll them like that. Because you really want, as a solo pianist, this is a solo piece. It's not, there's no rhythm section, so I'm all alone here. And so I roll it. It's a rich sound, plus it enables you to play it more comfortably than just laying it down. Now here's a melodic fill. Then I went to this chord. Now the reason I did that, the real chord is this. That's the actual chord, is an A flat diminished, but what I played there was the double diminished, which means I'm stacking diminished chords. I'm stacking this one. Why am I doing that? Well, it's a signature Bill Evans sound. In other words, it's all the notes that are missing in the diminished scale here, like if I were to play the scale. I'm taking the notes that are missing like that and putting them up there. So it sounds, it's really like a tremendous dissonance, but it's a beautiful dissonance, I think. Then I took that up a half step and then back down again. Another arpeggio on the left hand. Now here's this fast run, or more complicated run. It goes, all it is a run on the G minor chord. Now, like I said, this was not planned out. I was just improvising off of my ears. It's what I hear. So it's more difficult for me to write this out and figure it out than it is to play it. Now I have the F, another arpeggio or 10th here. That's the F chord with the A in the bass. And then here we start this Bill Evans passage. There's your diminished. Hear that rub on. And then here, G minor 11. Then the C7, which is another diminished. The C7 flat 9. So you have two diminished chords in there. There's an A flat diminished, G minor, and this is like another diminished chord, but it's a C7. It could be like an E diminished, but that takes us to the midpoint of the song. We'll continue. So I want to review the chords now, the chord names and the voicings for the first half of the song. So that's an F major with added ninth, and that's an A7 augmented. There's your augmented fifth. This is an interesting chord because it's like playing a B flat sharp 11 with a major 7th. Then there's a D7 here, which is flat 9. Then I play a line. G minor 9. There's the 9th there. Now here's an interesting chord. It's built on a D, so it's an augmented in the melody, but I played a sharp 9 here. That's the sharp 9, root 3rd, flat 7, sharp 9. Beautiful sounding chord. And then this 3rd there in the melody to a G minor 9. Then I take it down to G minor 9 with a major 7, down to a C9 there. And a C7, flat 9. Here's the F chord with the A in the bass. And then A flat diminished, down, flat sharp 11 with a major 7th. Then there's a D7 here, which is flat 9. Then I play a line. G minor 9. There's the 9th there. Now here's an interesting chord. It's built on a D, so it's an augmented in the melody, but I play.
Hello. So I wanted to show you this one concept that Bill Evans talked about a lot. When he was playing, he would pick one single note. This is for jazz musicians, by the way. He would pick one single note and then make that like the goal point of his improvisations, of his lines. So like, basically, for this example, I'm going to pick the starting note of this one song, which is a C in the song Waltz for Debbie. And my lines are going to have that goal point. It gives solos structure, and it gives your lines structure, and it gives it a form. It gives it musicality. You'll see. So here's the head of the song. So it's called Waltz for Debbie. It's a Bill Evans piece. So it's. those chord changes, basically if I were to start a solo, I pick this first note, and then
in which we'll hear the Piano Concerto Number 2 in C minor by Sergei Rachmaninoff. The work which in many ways served as the restitution to Rachmaninoff himself of security in his own powers as a creator. The scandalous reputation that his early First Symphony received very nearly sent him into the state of complete shock. It took some psychoanalysis and some very hard work on the part of Rachmaninoff, first to regain his security and then to be able to sit down and compose once again. The result was the work we're about to hear, one of the most beloved of all the works in the repertory for piano and orchestra. And here is Andre Watts with Zubin Mehta, the music director of the New York Philharmonic, for the Piano Concerto Number 2 in C minor by Sergei Rachmaninoff.
How's it going, guys? Julian Bradley here from themusicallator.com. So in today's video I'm going to share with you a brain exercise which all music
Okay, we are looking at a grand piano action. Well, basically, it's the same thing as an upright piano, it's just turned a different way, with a few extra parts. Okay, when you press the key, this is what happens. There's a few things going on here. Now remember, the key is still a big lever. When you press on the lever, it catapults a hammer up into the string, up here. And whenever the hammer gets catapulted up in the string, it hits the string, comes back, and then it catches on a back check. This is the back check. Now this right here, this little triangle shaped thing, is a whipping assembly. Now the whipping assembly has got one extra part on it, which a grand piano or an upright piano does not have. This little guy right here. This is called a repetition lever. A repetition means you can do it over and over and over faster. And this is what happens. Okay, the jack has slipped out. Well, here, let me see if I can get this in here. When you press on the key, it pushes up. This gets pushed out of the way, and then the jack trips. Now there's a spring right here. This is the spring. And you'll see the hammer pop back. You'll see the hammer pop forward a little bit. See how it pops forward? That means you can play it almost immediately again, without fully letting off the key. That allows for more rapid playing. Enough of that. So, I mean, it's all the same thing, but without this repetition lever. But yeah. Oh, look, there's the key. Got lead weight right there. See how it bounces? I love that. I think that's so sexy. Here.
Hi, it's Steve here, and I'd like to show you how to do scales with minor thirds in contrary movement on the piano. I really like this exercise because it's just really useful. It's really practical. There's a lot of, I use it to warm up. There's a lot of ways of practicing it that can just be good to feel comfortable at the piano. But it's just a fun thing to learn. Everything should be for fun, right? And it's also practical when you have to use them in a piece, then you already know it. Like the Chopin Thirds Etude, for example, which has a lot of these things. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Should look something like this. Should be the end result. Something like that. Now I haven't practiced in a few days, so hopefully that'll be good actually, so we can see how to just do those little things with it and make you feel a little more connected to the instrument in the right way.
Musicians can do, and this is something that you can practice away from your instrument anytime you're waiting in a waiting room or during any downtime. And this is something that I used to practice when I was sort of 17, 18, and I was never told to do this by any music teacher, but it's something that I just started doing, and I can see that it's something that improved my understanding of music theory and allowed me to sort of learn much quicker, learn new chord voicings, learn new scales much more quickly, and also to sort of find my way to notes and chord voicings and scales much more quickly in my playing. So, you know, it's kind of like an athlete who trains. They'll always do some weightlifting or some stomach crunches or other exercises which help make the sport much more easy. And basically this is what this is. It's a brain exercise which will sort of pay off every time you play music. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this lesson. Enjoy the video, and I'll talk to you again on the other side. So essentially what this exercise is interval practice. It is what I call mental arithmetic on the piano, which is jumping around by different intervals and being able to identify which note you would arrive at. So for example, if you start on C, jump up a minor sixth would be A flat, down a minor seventh would be B flat, up a tritone would be E, down a fifth, A, down a half step, A flat, up a major sixth, F, up a major sixth again, D, down a tritone, A flat, down a fifth, C sharp, and so on. And I would just do this sort of mental arithmetic in my head. So away from my instrument, if I was on the train, I used to go back and forth to school on the train, and I would just do this sort of mental arithmetic, just jumping around the keyboard. So the reason that this is so useful, and that I realise in hindsight how much this has helped me out, is that everything in music is just intervals. If I play a chord voicing, it is major third, tritone, fourth, fourth, fourth. That's how I think of this chord. If I play this, major third, tritone, major third, minor third, fourth. If I play a voicing like this, minor seventh, fourth, half step, and major third. Or if I have to play a certain scale, this scale is half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step. So everything in music, at least on the tonal side of things, is intervals. Fifth, fifth, half step, major third, major third. Minor seventh, fourth, half step, major third, etc. Anything you play in music is just intervals. Because really, the only thing that determines how fast I can play something, whether it's a chord voicing or a scale, is how quickly I can find the notes for it in my brain, And really that's the main part. Yeah, there's a bit of, I've got to get my fingers there as well, but the main thing that slows people down is the brain side of things and not being able to find the notes quick enough. And this is what I'm hoping is the case here. I would like everyone to start doing this exercise when they're away from their instrument, any downtime they have, to just do this mental arithmetic of jumping around by different intervals. And I believe that if you do this for a few weeks or months, then it will really show in your playing. You'll be much quicker at finding chord voicings, and you'll be much quicker at building scales. Now, to help you with this, I've actually recorded 3 audio tracks which you can download for free. These are MP3 tracks, which are me at the piano, just like I am today, testing you to jump up a fifth, down a tritone, down a minor seventh, up a major seventh, etc. Basically, these are 3 tracks. They start out as beginner, and then the second one's intermediate, and then the third one is advanced. And basically, if you click on the link below this video, enter your email, you will receive